Wow, Mom, I cannot believe you biked across the entire Trans-American Trail.
Oh, yeah, I did. But it was your Aunt Camille who suggested that we cross borders and do it. We just finished our first year at Practically Perfect University and wanted to blow off some steam, so.
That's pretty neat, Mom. The only risky thing I've ever seen you do was use that vegetable spiraler without the guard.
Oh, um,
So, what was the Trans Am like?
oh.
Oh, it was blissful. Two best friends, 10 states, 4 months, not enough water.
Your doctor was not proud that you turned yourself into a prune the way that you did.
It was honestly okay, Kariana. The remedy was to sit in a bath of hot to boiling water, light a candle, put on some jazz, and just let myself steep until I was plump and juicy again, like a ripe Primitivo grape. Yes.
Those were good times. Perfetto here actually just accepted his offer to Practically Perfect University for the fall term.
Is that right? You're gonna be a PPU. Are you excited?
I'm like so pumped. I think Practically Perfect is going to be, well, practically perfect.
That's sweet. And are you planning on studying virtue ethics and moral philosophical studies of human behavior like your mom and I?
Well, I'm starting off with just philosophy. Then you start streaming into all the other complicated stuff in year two.
Oh, but you have time. Don't stress yourself now.
Did you like the program? What should I expect?
Well, it was the best 4 years of our lives. It changed the way that we saw the world. The work was so immersive. We ended up staying for our masters, actually.
But it was a lot of work. I mean, first year was a blast. But everything changed after. Year two. Virtue ethics and moral philosophical studies of human behavior is not for the faint of heart.
No, it has dense, heavy readings from Aristotle, Kierkegaard, Tony Robbins, Heidegger, Nietzsche, Walter Mercado. Who else?
Wow. Did you read any Beauvoir?
Oh, it's Simone de Beauvoir, honey. And no, the work of forward-thinking female philosophers wasn't taught as it, well, wasn't seen as relevant or sophisticated enough. But,
That's fucked.
oh, I think in need of striving for different perspectives is a better way to phrase it, sweetie.
I say just enjoy your first year while you're in it. We didn't realize how different our lives were going to be when we went into our first year in the field of study.
No, we were young, spontaneous, but we were different people after. Year two.
So, what happened in year two?
Well, we had this one professor who thought he was the next big thinker in our field. He had this perfectionist quality and rigor of the Edna mold.
Oh, yes. And the composure of bubbling under skin quality of Andy Buckley.
And the credibility of Dr. Phil.
Professor Niravara. Niravara taught 3 things at PPU: improv, moral perfectionism, and Scientology. But moral perfectionism just resonated with us the most.
His smile was cold and shocking. He pushed the idea onto all of us.
That his Talos,
Halos?
his raison d'être?
His ultimate goal.
The purpose that we should all be striving towards.
At all times.
At all times?
At all times.
Was to be.
Absolutely.
Positively.
Perfect, always.
Day in and day out, rigorously studying how to walk out of class, well, out of school, into life, and simply be perfect.
Dissecting every single choice, holding each move we made under a microscope and defining whether or not it was truly an ethical choice.
That's pretty dramatic.
Is it? I don't think it is. That's a bit of an over-exaggeration, don't you think?
Exactly. I mean, sure. Every single move we made, every purposeful flinch of our muscles was scrutinized, questioned, all to ensure we always made the perfect choice in every situation. But it's just, you know how it is. Nothing was the same. Year 2 and beyond.
Where is that coming from?
The pain.
The existential
Never ending.
dread.
Wow. That's really tough. But that's impossible. Right? You know what they say. Nobody's perfect.
There are 3 things you don't say. The answer to the wordle of the day.
The name of the hot uncle from Encanto. Bruno.
And that you can never be truly perfect.
But you can! So it's not an issue. We're just trying to give you an idea of what to expect at Practically Perfect University.
Does the program sound intriguing to you?
Still deciding, Aunt Camille. It just feels like you're being paid to be stressed. Then you leave school with a crippling existential crisis.
Well, that's just university.
Is that really the best thing for me?
Well, having this understanding is important. Right? It's not made up, it's real. Niravara believed students should experience existential understanding.
Sarah.
Earlier. And not in the midlife, as people tend to have more holistic understanding of life after such an experience and are therefore wiser and more helpful and,
Either that or they leave feeling like nothing matters and that life is meaningless.
And even if we act perfectly in society, there's always this imperfect mentality instilled within us.
And then you realize that even if you do work your entire life trying to make the perfect decisions, no matter how much you scrutinize them, you can never be truly perfect.
But depending on how you look at it.
Depending on how you look at it. So, what do you think? Perfetto is virtues, ethics, and moral philosophical studies of human behavior, where you're meant to be.
I think I should just go into theater.